Well, hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So guys, for today's video, as you can see, I'm going to be doing a full review slash wear test slash first impressions on the brand new KVD Good Apple foundation. Let's just be honest, I bought this mainly because of TikTok. And I know I'm probably very late to the game in actually trying and testing this out because I know there's so many reviews and tutorials on this already on YouTube, but I wanted to do one for myself, and because I never really do like dedicated reviews on foundations or anything, but because this was so raved and hyped about, I just had to. This was a little bitch to get the hold of here in Northern Ireland. It was out of stock, I think, everywhere in the world for weeks. And then it was actually restocked on Boots. So Boots is obviously a retailer here in the UK, and unfortunately Boots no longer actually ship to Northern Ireland anymore. Why? But what I had to do was I actually had to get this shipped over to my sister who lives in Manchester, and she had to send it over to me. I got the shade medium 033. Reason being is because I do have fake tan on. I always, 9 out of 10 times I do have fake tan on, so that's why I did get a shade to match my tan. Of course my face doesn't match my neck or the rest of my body, solely because of the reason I don't tan my face. Why do you ask? Because I don't want to. So yeah, we're just gonna get into it, right? Yeah, right? And this is the colour. I think that might be good. So hopefully this works, and if it doesn't, well then what's new? I'm gonna be using a primer that I know works really well with my skin and works really well under 9 out of 10 foundations. Well, all foundations that I have in my collection, so I know that it won't disrupt the full review on this foundation. So I'm going to take the tiniest bit of the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter primer, and I'm literally going to take the tiniest bit of that. And then just another wee bit for my forehead. I'm definitely not wanting to take a lot. I'm sure all of you would have seen nearly everybody applying this foundation with the brush and just kind of, you know, the whole I'm actually going to try it with a brush and a beauty sponge and maybe see what the difference actually is, and if there's a difference between applying it with a brush and a beauty blender in terms of coverage or anything like that. I'm actually going to quickly Google this foundation because, if I'm being honest, I don't actually know very much about this foundation. I'm kind of going in blind. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Maybe it is a good thing that I'm going in blind, so I'm not really going in with any other opinions other than my own or whatever. So I'm gonna Google it here. So it just says here that the Good Apple Foundation Balm gives you a fast, lightweight, full coverage with a fresh matte finish. Buildable coverage, lasts all day, feels like you're not even wearing foundation. Quickly covers blemishes, discoloration for an instant confidence boost. Boom. Non-cakey, lasts all day, flashback free, blah de blah de blah. Ooh. Okay. Feels very greasy. Okay, so I'm actually going to do this side with the brush and then this side with the beauty sponge. So I'm just going to boom. I'm only joking. I had to, right? Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah, and I just want to also mention that, just in case you're new here, I do film with natural lighting, so I'm actually sitting at my bedroom window right now. I don't use or have any artificial lighting or anything, so you can really see like my skin texture and what the product actually looks like sitting on skin. So there's no fillers or there's nothing artificial to make the product or the skin look better or filtered or anything. So okay, so I'm actually going to go in with another wee dunk because I think we all know me and my makeup style. I just want a wee bit more coverage than that. So I'm just going to do that again, but kind of spread it out a wee bit more. Okay, what do you think of that colour? Is it alright? I think it's actually not too bad, you know. I'm going to bring it down the neck anyway. So I'm actually pretty happy so far. It actually looks really, really good. That's looking pretty good. Just gonna do one more swipe and then this will just do my forehead. Oh, that's a lot. Okay, this will do my entire forehead actually. So far, so good. Yeah, I'm actually really impressed with that so far. Like, it's actually made my forehead look actually really nice, if I don't say so myself. So far, I'm not gonna say I love it, but I do like it. It's actually looking really, really nice on my skin. It definitely is a beautiful coverage of foundation, extremely full coverage, so a little does go a long way. I think the next time I use this, I will probably use a wee bit less because I wasn't really aware of how full coverage it was actually going to be. Definitely very buildable as well, as you've seen, but it's sitting really, really nicely so far on my skin. It's obviously been on now for about 5 minutes at this point and it seems to be looking well. It's not starting to kick up anywhere or looking creepy. It's not looking dodgy or anything around my snoz, around my nose. Yeah, like even on my forehead it's actually looking not too bad, and I do think there's a nice wee glow to my skin. Like you can definitely see like there's some nice wee natural highlights coming through, because obviously with the balmy texture, which is actually quite nice. Like it didn't really say that it fully mattified or anything, but it did say that it kind of was like it kind of did have like a matte finish, but I would say more of like a satin finish. Like it definitely has more of like a balmy satin finish. I'm now going to go in with the beauty sponge side. So far I'm not actually noticing any difference whatsoever between the application with the brush or the beauty sponge. The only thing I'm noticing is it's kind of struggling to actually like stick in here with the sponge, and whenever I'm actually looking up close I have actually noticed that it's actually starting to crackle and look a wee bit crabby in this area here. I'm going to finish off this side here and then I'll show you here, and then I'm going to do the rest of my makeup, and of course I'm going to be doing like a wee wear test for you. I'm going to show you what my face looks like in here, and I'm not too sure whether that's the brush application that's done that or it's the foundation itself, but I think it might actually be the brush application because I can definitely see it doesn't look as perfected, let's just say. So I don't actually know if you should be able to see that or not, like in around here. Or am I just crazy? Like, am I looking for things to complain about? Sometimes, like, doing first impressions on really popular, hyped up things, and say, for example, you love it, and somebody's gonna be like, oh, you're just loving it because it's popular or it's hyped about, or you're lying and I don't trust you. So sometimes you're like, you're nearly wanting it to look like shit. I'm actually gonna go over my entire face with this beauty sponge just to really press in that foundation, just to see, and just to maybe lift off any excess that maybe like lie on the top of the skin to maybe prevent it from going cakey throughout the day. But it doesn't even look cakey anyway, but just for shits and gigs, you know. But yeah, okay. So overall guys, I'm actually I'm actually pretty impressed. I'm actually pretty happy with it. I'm going to give you another wee close-up of my skin as well. Of course, as I was saying, I use natural lighting, all that rubbish, whatever. You can obviously tell by looking at my skin I have foundation on. You can obviously tell by looking at my skin I have a full coverage foundation on. Of course, if you want your skin to look more like skin, you can apply less. But I'm very heavy-handed with absolutely everything I do in life, so of course I'm going to make this extremely full coverage. But I actually still like how my skin looks because it doesn't look cakey. You can still see my skin texture coming through, you can still see my pores, all that natural normal stuff, which I'm pretty happy about. I don't like to completely camouflage my skin, only whenever it comes to its colour. I'm actually really happy with it. Of course it is starting to sink in to my smile lines, by the way, because that happens. That is normal. You cannot prevent that. My forehead still looks great, actually. It's sitting really, really nice on my forehead. I have no complaints whatsoever. It actually just nearly looks juicy on my skin. Like you can definitely see there's like a nice wee healthy glow to it. It's definitely not settling down or drying matte, or even like a semi-matte. It definitely does look like a nice wee juicy satin-like finish, and I actually really, really enjoy that. That actually means that my skin doesn't look really, really flat, so it's actually looking healthy on my skin, even with it being such full coverage. I'm pretty sure that the coverage that I have on and the amount I did have on, or do have on, sorry, is maybe too much for some of these, or maybe not enough for some of these, and you're my kind of people. But obviously, apply what you want. I'm now going to go off camera and I'm going to do the rest of my makeup. I'm going to be using a concealer, powder, blush, bronzer, highlighter, etc. that I know and love, and I've tried and tested through absolutely everything, just so it doesn't maybe sabotage the review or kind of look a wee bit funny or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Why do I complicate things so much? Okay guys, so that's the rest of my makeup done. So if you're curious as to what else I was using on my face, I'll have it listed and linked down below in the description box. But so far so good, actually. I'm still pretty impressed, although I'm obviously going to do a wee wear test for you now. So I'm going to be checking in with you throughout the day. So it is now 10 to 1 in the afternoon. So also what I did do was I actually went into my bathroom and I actually took a couple of flash test photos, so I'll have them on the screen here, and I actually took a couple of like really close-up ones to my skin so you could really see what it's actually looked like, what it actually really does look like on my skin. And yeah, so far so good. Like, how many times can I say that? Honestly, as it sits at the minute on my skin, how it looks, it honestly just looks like any other foundation. Honestly, I don't really have anything negative to say about it so far, but obviously time will tell, and I will give you just another wee close up on camera here as well. So but I sometimes feel like I'm so bad with these videos because I just, like, I'm not seeing anything wrong with it, you know what I mean? So like, I'm not gonna sit and make it up. But it's grand, like it still looks really, really good. So it is now 3:30. It's 3:30 exactly, and the foundation has been on for quite a few hours at this point, and I'm actually, as I'm talking here, I'm actually going to insert like a wee video that I took there now in my bathroom where it's really, really true lighting, and I took it on my phone. So I have the iPhone 12 and I took it with my back camera because that's whenever you see everything. So you can actually really, really see what the foundation is actually looking like on my skin, and it's looking fine. It really is looking fine. I'm having no issues or no problems with it at all. It literally just looks like any other foundation, if I'm really, really being honest. Like, it's definitely not the best foundation I have ever tried in my life, but it is good. It's looking really, really good on my skin. So guys, one thing I'm also wanting to mention and kind of want to make you aware of is the fact that I personally don't think that I'm giving this foundation like a really true test. And what I mean by that is I'm literally just sitting in my house today. I'm not going anywhere and I haven't been outside at all today, so I kind of feel like I'm not giving it a really true test, like a really true like day wear test. So like, for example, like I don't really know how it's going to be if I was wearing this on a day where I was going to be out in the sun or out on a really warm sunny day or something. Not that we get that much here in Northern Ireland, but you know what I mean. So like, I really do kind of understand why it actually still looks so good like so many hours after I've actually applied it, because I haven't been out anywhere. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm going to do? So this weekend, I'm going to be out a lot of places this weekend, and I'm actually going to try and test this again and take some wee videos and clippets and pictures and everything, and in a couple of tutorials next week I will keep on using this, and I will also keep you updated with how it wore on my skin throughout the weekend, with me being out in the sun, out in the windy cold weather as well that we get here, and just actually out doing stuff, because I really don't think I'm giving it a really true review just literally sitting in the house, because obviously it's still going to look fine like so many hours later. I hope that makes sense. Because like it still does look really, really good. Okay guys, so last check-in. It is now 6:20 and yeah, this is just going to be my last check-in, and I'm actually just only after again going into my bathroom there and taking another wee close-up video, so I will have that up now. One thing I will say is I have actually noticed a difference, as you will see in the wee video clip here. I can notice that it's starting to maybe look a wee bit crepey around my mouth and nose area, especially like my top lip. It's definitely starting to look a wee bit skanky looking, but definitely everywhere else I do think it actually looks really, really good still. Like even on my forehead, like in between my eyebrows and everything, it looks still really, really good, really, really fresh. Overall, I'm actually pretty impressed. I'm definitely happy with it. I will definitely continue to use this wee foundation over the next couple of days or whatever, just to really try and put it to the test, and especially over the weekend whenever I'm going to be like wearing it out places and in the sun and all that good stuff. So if I'm being honest, I genuinely don't actually understand the hype. Don't crucify me, but I don't understand the hype. I would say probably the hype is because it is such a full coverage foundation. I could have definitely built this foundation up to the point where it was like a literal mask and just full on cake batter on my skin, but because I have pretty normal skin, I don't suffer from any skin issues or problems, or like I don't like acne or anything like that. I don't necessarily have anything I'm wanting to cover up, and just actually putting it on my skin to the point that it's really, really full coverage was just unnecessary. And I do actually think if I build it up to the point where it was so full coverage, I think by this stage it would have like really badly sunk into my fine lines around my mouth, and it would have looked a wee bit more dodgy around my mouth area. In terms of skin types, I'm obviously someone that has dry to normal skin. If you're oily, if I'm being honest, I don't know what advice I would give you. If you're oily, I don't know how you would feel about this. Of course, if any of you guys have tried this foundation, leave a comment down below on what your skin type is to kind of help us all out here and let us know what your experience was, because yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's nothing special, really don't understand the hype, but it is a good wee foundation and I'll continue to use it. I'll also link it down below if you just want to go and have a wee nosy at it and get a wee bit more information on it, or if you want to purchase it yourself. And yeah, also down below will be my Snapchat, Instagram and Twitter, so don't forget to go and follow me on there. And also feel free to subscribe to my channel, that would mean so much to me as well. But other than that guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you did enjoy this wee video. And I hope you're all staying safe and well. Please be kind, look after yourselves and each other, and I shall see you in my next video.